What if I told you that your favorite brand, whether it's Apple, Nike, or Coke, has subtly rewired your brain without you ever noticing? What if that shiny logo on your phone, those iconic sneakers on your feet, or the jeans you wear aren't just products, but emotional anchors, shaping how you see the world and yourself? This isn't just marketing. This is brain science. And in this video, we're diving deep into how billion-dollar brands have managed to brand you. Welcome to the hidden battlefield of your mind, where identity, emotion, and money collide. At first glance, Coke is just soda. Tylenol is just acetaminophen. Levi's are just denim stitched together. Yet millions of people worldwide go out of their way to pay more, choose specific labels, and even defend those brands with passionate loyalty. It doesn't add up economically. After all, a rational consumer should opt for the cheaper, functionally identical alternative. But that's just it. We're not rational consumers. We are emotional, story-driven beings, and brands have become master storytellers. One groundbreaking study at Duke University demonstrates this power with crystal clarity. Two groups of participants were subliminally flashed either the Apple or IBM logo. So quickly, they didn't consciously register it. Then, they were asked to perform a creative task. The results? Those exposed to the Apple logo significantly outperformed the IBM group in creativity. Why? Because Apple has told us a story for decades, that Apple is innovative, youthful, artistic. Without even realizing it, your brain absorbs that message, and suddenly, you become what the brand represents, at least temporarily. That's the power of brand identity at the neurological level. Americus, a professor of marketing at the University of Pennsylvania, explains that when you choose a brand, you're not just making a purchase, you're shaping your identity. Think about it. When you put on a Nike shirt, you're not just covering your torso, you're expressing something, that you're strong, determined, maybe even elite. Nike sells performance. Under Armour sells grit and underdog ambition. When you choose one, you're aligning your values and aspirations with a narrative. It's no longer about the product. It's about who you want to be. And that identity can become so deeply rooted that we start to defend our chosen brands as if they were family. That's not an exaggeration. It's neuroscience. Michael Platt, a professor of neuroscience and psychology, conducted a study where iPhone and Samsung users listened to good, bad, and neutral news about their respective brands while undergoing fMRI scans. Apple users' brains responded to positive Apple news in the same way they would respond to hearing good news about a close family member. It wasn't just satisfaction. It was empathy. On the flip side, when those users heard negative news about Apple, the emotional pain was real, measurable, and intense. But here's where it gets even stranger. Samsung users didn't show the same positive or negative reactions about Samsung. In fact, the only significant brain activity happened when negative news was shared about Apple, and their brains lit up with pleasure. It wasn't brand love that motivated their loyalty to Samsung. It was brand hate, specifically hate for Apple. And when these users were asked about their feelings consciously, they didn't report any of it. Their brains were telling a different story than their mouths. This disconnect reveals how little control we sometimes have over our preferences, and how deeply those brand associations run beneath the surface. So what exactly is happening inside your head when you see that swoosh or that bitten apple? It's not just marketing, it's identity engineering. We relate to brands the same way we relate to people, using emotional and social cues. I love Nike. I hate Starbucks. These aren't product reviews, they're identity statements. Brands give us an easy way to signal who we are to the world. In a world flooded with choice and social pressure, this shortcut is invaluable, and the brands know it. That's why companies invest billions into shaping not just their image, but your self-image. They want to be the hero in your life story, the device that makes you more productive, the shoes that make you faster, the drink that makes you the life of the party. And over time, these associations become so ingrained that we no longer notice them. We just feel better when we wear that logo. We feel more ourselves. But there's a cost to this comfort. Because while brands offer a convenient identity scaffold, they also shape how we spend, how we think, and even how we feel about ourselves and others. Ever bought something just because it made you feel successful, cool, more attractive? That's branding at work. And it's incredibly effective. So much so that even when we tell ourselves we're not into brands, we're often just aligning with a different identity, the anti-brand brand. That rugged look, that indie vibe, that I don't care what people think image, that too is a brand. It's just telling a different story. Reed points out something fascinating. Brands today are filling a role that used to belong to churches, communities, and institutions. In a world where traditional identity pillars are crumbling, brands have stepped in. They provide structure, a sense of belonging, a tribe. You wear the logo, follow the content, join the ecosystem, and just like that, you're part of something bigger than yourself. That sense of inclusion can be incredibly powerful and dangerous. Because once we give brands that much power, they don't just sell products. They shape culture. They influence elections. They sway public opinion. They create echo chambers. And as the line between consumer and citizen blurs, we have to ask, are we thinking clearly or just consuming comfortably? So what can you do? The first step is awareness. The next time you reach for that premium coffee, those designer shoes, or that particular phone model, pause and ask yourself, why do I want this? What story am I buying into? Whose identity am I reinforcing? That little moment of reflection could save you money, reshape your values, and even give you back a bit of control in a world where brands are constantly competing to define you. Like it or not, brands aren't going anywhere, and they're not inherently evil. In fact, they can be a source of inspiration, motivation, and connection. But only if you know what game you're playing. Otherwise, you risk becoming a pawn in a narrative someone else wrote for you. So the next time you hear a catchy jingle or see an ad that just gets you, remember, it's not magic, it's marketing. And your brain